Lewis Hamilton was eliminated in Q1 3 races in a row. Then he vanished. Threw his phone in the bin. Nobody, not his team, not his family, not the media, could reach him for weeks. And while the entire world was writing his retirement obituary, Ferrari was building something behind closed doors that has the paddock genuinely shaken. What happened during Hamilton's silence, and what he came back with, could decide the entire 2026 World Championship. Because here's what nobody's telling you. According to Shell telemetry data and Bahrain preseason testing numbers, what Scuderia Ferrari has put together for 2026 is structurally unlike anything we've seen in the hybrid era. And Hamilton just dropped 5 words on Instagram that confirm he knows it. Now, before we get into the breakdown, I need you to do 2 things. First, drop a comment right now. Do you think Lewis Hamilton is finished, or are we about to witness the greatest comeback in F1 history? I want to read every single one. And second, if you care about F1 and you want the real analysis, not the clickbait, subscribe to F1 News Breakdown and hit that bell. Because what I'm about to reveal in this video is information most channels don't even have. And I'll expose the one technical loophole that could hand the championship to a team that doesn't deserve it. Let's get into it. Let me hit you with the numbers because they're worse than you think. Lewis Hamilton, 105 Grand Prix victories, more podiums than any human in F1 history, went an entire 24-race season without a single podium. Not one. His best results? 4 separate fourth-place finishes. His only win of any kind was a sprint race in China, and even that came with an asterisk because he got disqualified from the Grand Prix for plankwear violations. The qualifying battle against Charles Leclerc was brutal, 19-5 in Leclerc's favor, with an average gap of 0.254 seconds. In Formula 1, that's not bad luck. That's structural. Leclerc scored all 7 of Ferrari's podiums. Hamilton scored 0. The points gap? 86 points, 242 to 156. And then the final 3 races happened. 3 consecutive Q1 eliminations, Las Vegas, Qatar, Abu Dhabi. He became the first full-time Ferrari driver in history to endure a streak like that. In Vegas, he qualified dead last after clipping a bollard in wet conditions. For context, the last time a Ferrari driver completed an entire season without a podium was Perron in 1981. That was 44 years ago. And Hamilton's number? 44. Now I know a lot of you are split on this. Some of you believe Hamilton still deserves that 8th title after 2021. Others, and I see you in the comments, think he's done. Finished. So tell me right now, is Lewis Hamilton done, or is 2026 going to be his greatest comeback? Drop your answer in the comments. I want to see where this audience stands. Let me give you an analogy so this clicks. Imagine you're a world-class chef, you've won every award there is. Then someone puts you in a kitchen you've never seen before, with equipment designed for a completely different cooking style, ingredients you've never used, and says cook your best meal. Oh, and halfway through the year, they stop restocking the kitchen entirely. That's what happened to Hamilton in 2025. The SF25 was designed without a single piece of Hamilton's input. It was built entirely around the driving preferences of Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. The car had fundamental plankwear and ride height issues that took a third of the season to even partially fix. Hamilton was simultaneously adapting to new brake suppliers, after 20 years with one manufacturer, entirely new software systems, a new race engineer in Riccardo Adami, and a team culture that operated nothing like Mercedes. And then Ferrari made the decision that sealed his 2025 fate. By April, they abandoned all development on the SF25 to redirect every resource toward 2026. Hamilton was stuck in a fundamentally flawed machine for 8 more months. 0 upgrades. Team principal Frederic Vasseur later admitted he underestimated the scale of the transition. But here's the thing nobody's talking about. While Hamilton was suffering through 2025 in public, he was doing something in private that would change everything. And that's coming up. After Abu Dhabi, the retirement chorus was deafening. Ralf Schumacher publicly told Ferrari to replace Hamilton with Oliver Bearman. Bernie Ecclestone said it was time to walk away. Nico Rosberg discussed it openly on Sky Sports. Ferrari chairman John Elkann told drivers to focus on driving and talk less, widely read as a direct shot at Hamilton. And then the annual vote happened, where F1 team principals ranked the top 10 drivers. For the first time since the poll began, Lewis Hamilton was not on the list. The 7-time world champion wasn't even considered top 10. Hamilton's response? I wouldn't say anything to them. None of them have done what I've done. He called retirement completely out of the question. And then, he went silent. Told reporters his phone was going in the bin. And he meant it. For weeks, Lewis Hamilton essentially disappeared. During that silence, everything changed. He split with his longtime manager Mark Hines. Ferrari replaced his race engineer with Carlos Santi, who'd previously worked with Kimi Räikkönen. He undertook a complete physical and mental rebuild. He told Sky Sports in Bahrain he was genuinely in the best place he had been in a long, long time. If you're finding this breakdown useful, hit subscribe. I cover Formula One in depth every single week here on F1 News Breakdown, and you are not going to want to miss what happens when this 2026 season kicks off. But the most significant change wasn't about his body or his management. It was about the car. On February 18 at the Bahrain preseason test, Hamilton revealed something that reframes his entire Ferrari future. He said, quote, "This is a car that I have been able to be a part of developing on the simulator for the last 8 to 10 months. A bit of my DNA is within it." That is not motivational fluff. Hamilton spent 8 to 10 months in Ferrari's Maranello simulator providing feedback that directly shaped the SF26. His input covered power unit delivery, suspension, brake distribution, steering ergonomics, and overall car balance. He even requested a one-on-one meeting with Ferrari power unit director Enrico Galtieri during the Belgian Grand Prix to discuss the 2026 engine specifically. Galtieri confirmed publicly that Hamilton's feedback was invaluable. According to La Gazzetta dello Sport, Ferrari significantly increased driver influence in the 2026 development program. They switched from pull-rod to push-rod suspension, something both Hamilton and Leclerc pushed for. This is the critical difference. In 2025, Hamilton drove someone else's car. In 2026, he helped build this one. But Hamilton's involvement wouldn't matter if the car wasn't competitive. And this is where the 2026 regulations become the most important piece of the puzzle. The cars are 30 kilograms lighter with a shorter wheelbase, more agile, more responsive. There's now a 50-50 split between combustion and electric power. The MGU-H is gone. The MGU-K has been boosted to 350 kilowatts, that triples the electric output. Energy management is now a race strategy skill. Active aerodynamics replace DRS with an overtake mode and manual boost strategies. And the one that really matters for Hamilton, the Venturi tunnels that generated massive floor downforce since 2022 are largely gone. The new floors are flatter and far less ride height sensitive. That was the precise issue that haunted Hamilton for 4 years. Sky Sports reporter Craig Slater explained it directly: the ground effect era punished late-braking drivers like Hamilton. His natural style, late braking, aggressive turn-in, early throttle, was at a disadvantage. Slater concluded there are good reasons to believe Hamilton will be better in the 2026 cars than he has been since 2021. And here's the uncomfortable comparison. While Hamilton was adapting at Ferrari in 2025, Max Verstappen was building continuity at Red Bull. The question for 2026 is simple: does development momentum matter more, or does a regulation reset level the playing field? Because if these rules erase the ground effect advantage, Verstappen loses 4 years of setup knowledge overnight. Quick question: do you think these regulation changes are enough to bring Hamilton back? Or is age catching up regardless? Drop it in the comments. Now here's the technical detail I promised at the start. According to the data I've been tracking, Mercedes-AMG Petronas and possibly Red Bull powertrains have found a loophole to run a higher compression ratio, around 18:1 at operating temperatures, while technically compliant when measured cold. Ferrari, Honda, and Audi have pushed the FIA to close it. Here's why it matters. If the FIA closes this loophole before Melbourne, Scuderia Ferrari gains. If they don't, Mercedes may start the season with an invisible advantage nobody can replicate mid-year. Ferrari's own 0.67.6 power unit reportedly covered the equivalent of 14 Grand Prix distances during testing without reliability issues. According to Shell telemetry data, the SF26 features steel cylinder heads, believed to be a first in F1. Leclerc topped the final daytime sheets in Bahrain by nearly a second. McLaren boss Andrea Stella said Ferrari and Mercedes appeared a step ahead of the rest. It's not just the data. Listen to what the experts are saying. Jenson Button told Sky Sports flatly, "With the new regulations, we will see Lewis Hamilton back to his best." But he added, "If it doesn't work this year, I don't know if it's going to work again." This is the perfect opportunity. Alexander Albon was asked which driver the 2026 regulations would suit most. His answer was immediate: "I think it's Lewis." Even F1 CEO Stefano Domenicali, a former Ferrari team principal, confirmed he'd spoken directly with both drivers. He said, "Talking to Charles and Lewis, they are confident. When the CEO of the entire sport says that, it carries weight beyond preseason optimism. And then, 3 days after testing, Hamilton posted those 5 words on Instagram. "I forgot who I was." That is not nostalgia. That is a driver saying the 2025 version of himself is gone. The full post was a warning shot to the grid. He said he's reset. Refreshed. Not going anywhere. And he ended with a promise, "This is going to be one hell of a season." But here's the uncomfortable possibility we need to address. What if these regulation changes reduce downforce so drastically that raw reflex and youth matter more than experience? Drivers like Verstappen, Piastri, or even Antonelli could benefit more than a 41-year-old champion. I don't think that kills Hamilton's chances. But ignoring the possibility would be dishonest. So where does this leave us heading into Melbourne? Here's my watch list, 5 things to track from race 1. Number 1. Who nails the new start procedures? Poor starts could cost 5 to 10 places. Number 2. Who manages energy best after 10 laps? The 50-50 power split means the drivers who master deployment pull away. Number 3. Top speed versus battery deployment. Which teams maximize overtake mode and which burn through their electric power too early? Number 4. Does the FIA close the compression ratio loophole before Melbourne? Number 5. Hamilton versus Leclerc, head-to-head. Does the SF26 Hamilton DNA translate to a closer qualifying battle? My prediction? Ferrari will lead into Turn 1 in Melbourne. Whether they keep that lead depends entirely on energy deployment consistency. If their battery management holds over a full race distance, we're looking at a Ferrari 1-2 fight. If it doesn't, Verstappen is right there to capitalize. Melbourne prediction time. Who's winning the first race of 2026? Hamilton, Leclerc, Verstappen, or a dark horse? Drop your pick in the comments. I'll pin the best predictions and we'll come back to this after the race. Here's the bottom line. The Hamilton who posted that Instagram confession is a materially different driver from the one who qualified last in Las Vegas 3 months earlier. And the changes aren't just emotional, they're structural. A new race engineer. A new management setup. A car built with 8 to 10 months of his direct simulator input. Regulations that reward his natural driving style for the first time since 2021. A power unit his feedback helped shape. And a winter spent rebuilding both his body and his mind from the ground up. Jenson Button put it best, this is the perfect opportunity. If it works, it will be one of the greatest comeback stories in the history of sport. If it doesn't, we may never see Hamilton at this level again. For the first time since joining Ferrari, Lewis Hamilton is driving a car that knows who he is. If you enjoy deep technical breakdowns like this, the regulation analysis, the engineering details, the real data behind the narratives, then subscribe to F1 News Breakdown right now. Hit that button and turn on notifications because when Melbourne drops, I'm going to break down every single detail, and you do not want to be the one who missed it. I'll see you in the next one.